Alright, hey everybody, today we have a matchup between feebleblobber and bombpocalypze. So here are their initial three, and we will see who they end up banning and picking. So here are their bans. They ban Malevolent Presence and Elven Valkyrie, and then for their picks, looks like we have a Delguan grudge match. So we've got Draz'blanou VS Nihl'othrakaris, and let's go ahead and see how this turns out. So we've got Nilly, by the way, is the bottom, and that is bombpocalypze, and then the top is going to be feebleblobber playing as Draz'blanou. So we're going to go ahead and see some of the classic rock, paper, scissors play with a hunter and then a soldier played across from him, and now Feeble has already brought out Draz. So we see Draz, and a Crusher Brute is brought out on Bomb's part to go ahead and put some pressure onto him. Moving over to Feeble, he's going to shift over Draz and play his own Crusher Brute 3. We'll see lots of Ditto cards this match, which is pretty fun. Always something to look forward to anytime we see a mirror match. Then we'll go ahead and see the Forge Father played. Now we go ahead and pass over to feebleblobber. And he's going to go ahead and draw for his turn and draw as an action. And then he is going to play his own Forge Father. So we see a match of two Crusher Brute 3s and two Forge Fathers on the field already. So lots of fun little matchups going here. And we see Bomb is going to go ahead and advance the Forge Father and play Underchurch Reverend to start getting some cultists in his hand. So moving over here to Feeble, he takes a few draw actions, and then he's going to go ahead and trade with the Forge Father because he doesn't want the Forge Father to have a Brute Force and then get a trade up over him, because Forge Father with Brute Force would be power 4. So now going over to Bomb, we see he does start putting cultists on his hand at the start of his turn, and he's going to play Cannon Shot. So this is a really strong start for Bomb. He got a trade up with his Forge Father and already eliminated Feeble's Forge Father with a Cannon Shot. So it'll be interesting to see how Feeble responds here. He plays a Crusher Brute 2 and then a Soldier 2 next to him. Moving down here to Bomb. He's going to go ahead and draw for his turn, draw his cultist. Now he's going to advance this Echo Hunter 2, which could get eaten by that Soldier 2, but he does kind of have some insurance with a Crusher Brute 2 who could eat the Soldier 2 if that's the route that Feeble decides to go. But Feeble is going to eat that Hunter 2, and then he's going to play Old Sec to go ahead and take that even trade with those two twos right there. And that also puts some pressure on Bomb's Underchurch Reverend, having that one right next to him. So we'll see how Bomb responds to that one here. He is going to stack on top of his Reverend with the Blessed Princess. We haven't seen any attachments yet, but we have to assume there will be some if we have Blessed Princess out on the field. And he's also going to advance that Crusher Brute 3. Moving over Feeble, he's going to advance this Crusher Brute 2, and he will play the Underchurch Reverend. And so now he can start generating some cultists of his own, but Bomb's going to go ahead and take this opportunity to just eat these two cards on the field here. He's going to eat that one with his Blessed Princess and eat that 2 with the Crusher Brute 3. Moving over here to Feeble, he's also going to get his cultists into his hand now that he's got his own Reverend. And he's going to play the Helldiver. It would be interesting to know how many cards he has left in his deck, because Helldiver's ability is around drawing cards. And then looking over here at Bomb, he's going to play Nilly, so that's a lot of pressure having that 3 on the board, and also having Nihl'othrakaris, who can go ahead and attack anywhere adjacent to one of his fighters. So that's a really strong board presence for Bomb here. And Feeble's going to go ahead and advance Draz and play a Deep Rock Soldier 3. So he's going to go ahead and match these 3s with some 3s of his own here, but we do know he is down a 3, and we see that Bomb has all of his 3s on the field now, and attached to that Hunter 3 is Chitinous Carapace. So that means it can't be affected by tactics or targeted by enemy tactics, and it does count as a Brute, which could matter later on here. Feeble's going to go ahead and trade the Brute 3 with Draz and then stack a Soldier 2 on top of his Soldier 3. Going over here to Bomb, we do see he is taking advantage of that Hunter also being traded a Brute by stacking a Brute 2 and a Brute 1 on that, putting some pressure on those soldiers across from him, which originally were pressuring the Hunter 3. So here we see an Earthquake play by Feeble that does take out the Blessed Princess and that Crusher Brute 1. So that's a nice play because he doesn't have to worry about the Blessed Princess getting a ton of value from attachments or that sort of thing. But the Under Church Reverend was revealed there, so he did get an extra cultist, and now he plays Faithful Servant, which is really dangerous because everything that Bomb has at this point counts as a brute on the field. So Faithful Servant can really just shove those guys around. Now we go ahead and see here. Feeble's going to go ahead and shift up the Helldiver and play a Cultist. Nil is going to eat that Helldiver so he can protect his Faithful Servant, and then play a Soldier 2. And I think he could have eaten that Cultist above and had a really nice play at the gates on his next turn, but I think Bomb was playing very careful on this game, and so he decided not to do that and instead opt to protect his gates in case there was a sneaky play that Feeble could have. But now he's going to go ahead and advance his stack of brutes and attack the top soldier there with Nil. Looking over here, Feeble's going to go ahead and take off that brute 1, and then he is going to stack a soldier 1 on top of that 3 to protect it. Bomb's going to go ahead and shift over his Crusher Brute stack and play another soldier onto his gates, furthering his protection for the gates. And Feeble's going to advance that soldier stack, but that is the game here, is stacking another cultist because we can go ahead and see there's going to be that double attack here where Nilly attacks the Faithful Servant, and then the Crusher Brute is going to move up and enter the gates. So that's the game. Great play by bombpocalypze. Really put Feeble on the ropes early on, and at that point there just wasn't a whole ton he could do there. So really fun Delguan grudge match. Next expansion coming very soon. Tomorrow is September, which is very exciting. I believe we've heard it's more likely that we'll see order fulfillment in October, but that's still right around the corner. Very excited for that. Next round, bombpocalypze. I have such a hard time saying Bomb's name, honestly. Next round, Bomb is going to play the winner of Chad and Cornix, and so look forward to that match. That's going to be a fun one. And feel free to like and subscribe. Current subscriber count 90, so we are just 10 away from 100, which is pretty exciting, getting close to that triple digits. So thanks everyone for watching. Been a bit slow the past couple days since I've gotten pretty sick, but looking forward to putting out more videos for you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.